Hi, I'm Mark Ellison from 5 Daily Trivia Questions, and I've got some wickedly bad news for you. Next week is Villains Week, where we'll be celebrating the most memorable antagonists from pop culture. Every day we'll focus on a different set of iconic villains, from James Bond's greatest foes to Star Wars' Dark Side, Disney's animated antagonists, Batman's rogues gallery, and horror's most terrifying monsters. I've got a villain question for you right now. Which James Bond villain had steel teeth and appeared in 2 films, The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker? Was it Odd Job, Jaws, or Blofeld? If you knew it was Jaws, then you're going to love what we have in store. And if you didn't know, well, there's no better time to learn about these unforgettable characters. Join us for Villains Week on 5 Daily Trivia Questions. Subscribe for free right now wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, sometimes it's good to be bad.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where we're working and the guy who crashed the markets is golfing, this is Ballot.
Yep, we're all losing our retirement funds and get to work 7 days a week to cover this madness. Let's hit this. Trump reacted to starting the Greatest Depression by playing golf. This week, he didn't even wait until Saturday, instead helping himself to a 3-day weekend to hang out with the Saudis. His itinerary included skipping the dignified transfer of 4 U.S. Army soldiers who died during a training mission in Lithuania. Instead, he flew to Florida to watch a Saudi-funded LIV golf tournament at his own course and attend a dinner reception there. Nothing says commander-in-chief quite like prioritizing your golf handicap over honoring fallen soldiers. The White House announced that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth would represent the administration at the dignified transfer. I guess they figured, hey, we're sending someone. What more do you want? It's like sending your assistant to your kid's graduation while you're courtside at the Lakers game. What makes this particularly rich is that Trump once attacked Biden for checking his watch during a dignified transfer ceremony. Trump told Fox Business, when he kept looking at his watch yesterday at Dover with the parents and spouses of people that were killed, I mean, how many times did he look at his watch? Trump was outraged that Biden might have been slightly distracted while physically present at a ceremony, but Trump couldn't even be bothered to show up at all. That's not looking at your watch. That's not even wearing one. The White House says they're working on communicating with the families. I imagine that communication is something like, sorry for your loss. The president would be there, but there's a really important golf tournament happening. Have you tried golf? Very therapeutic. Then again, what do I know? I'm just someone who thinks duty, honor, country means more than drive, putt, birdie. Trump just gave TikTok another extension to sell its U.S. operations or face a ban. This is now the second time he's done this. It's like when you tell your teenager to clean their room or else, and then keep extending the deadline because you know you're not actually going to follow through with the or else part. Trump announced this on Truth Social, his own social media platform, which is absolutely hilarious when you think about it. That's like announcing you're considering banning McDonald's while posting it on a McDonald's napkin. He said the TikTok deal requires more work to ensure all necessary approvals are signed. Translation: we haven't figured out how to make this look like a win for us yet. The extension gives TikTok 75 more days, pushing the deadline to mid-June. 75 days! That's enough time for teenagers to create approximately 12 million more dance videos. The best part is when Trump says, we hope to continue working in good faith with China, who I understand are not very happy about our reciprocal tariffs. Gee, you think? China's not happy about tariffs? Next, he'll tell us water is wet and golf is relaxing. He even capitalized good faith and reciprocal tariffs like they're the titles of upcoming action movies. Coming this summer, Dwayne The Rock Johnson stars in Reciprocal Tariffs: The Reckoning. And then he adds that the tariffs are necessary for fair and balanced trade between China and the USA, with an exclamation point just to make sure we know he's super serious about this. When Trump released his new tariff list, wouldn't you know it, Russia somehow didn't make the cut. What a shocking twist that absolutely nobody saw coming. Critics immediately started suggesting Trump was giving Putin special treatment, which is crazy because it's not like Trump has ever praised Putin or called him a genius or said he trusted him more than our own intelligence agencies. Oh, wait. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt explained that Russia wasn't included because economic sanctions from their 2022 invasion of Ukraine already preclude any meaningful trade. Our annual trade with Russia is down to just $3.5 billion per year. $3.5 billion. That's practically nothing in international trade terms. That's like saying, I didn't invite Bob to the intervention because he only drinks 8 beers a day instead of 12. Cuba, North Korea, and Belarus were also left off the list for the same reason. So basically, Trump is saying, I only punish countries I can actually hurt economically. It's a strange flex, but okay. Meanwhile, Russia is busy defending their buddy Iran after Trump threatened military strikes against them. Trump said he'd bomb Iran if they don't agree to a nuclear deal, which is a totally normal and reasonable negotiation tactic. Hey, agree to these terms or I'll blow you up, is exactly how I negotiate my cable bill every month. Russia's foreign ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said bombing Iran's nuclear infrastructure would lead to an irreversible global catastrophe. You know things are serious when Russia is the voice of reason. The world's 10 richest people just lost $74 billion after Trump's tariffs. $74 billion. That's what I call a bad day at the office. Most of us worry about overdraft fees. These guys are watching billions disappear faster than my self-respect at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Trump announced his tariffs, and the market responded by having what therapists call a complete emotional breakdown. The S&P dropped nearly 5%, the Dow lost 1,679 points, and the Nasdaq plunged 6%. It was the worst single-day loss in 5 years. The last time Wall Street saw numbers drop this fast was when Netflix released The Irishman runtime. Let's check in on our favorite billionaires, shall we? Elon Musk lost $11 billion, which for him is just 2.5% of his wealth. That's the billionaire equivalent of finding out your favorite coffee shop raised prices by a nickel. Oh, no, anyway, that Musk is still worth $322 billion, making him the world's richest person. Though with all his companies, Tesla, ex-Twitter, Neuralink, The Boring Company, and SpaceX, he might also be the world's busiest person. His calendar probably just says disrupt something every day from 9 to 5. Jeff Bezos lost nearly $16 billion, which is 6.7% of his fortune. Bezos is down to his last $201 billion. I'm sure he's cutting back. Maybe Prime delivery will now take 2 days instead of 1. Sorry, we're experiencing financial difficulties. Mark Zuckerberg took the biggest hit, losing nearly $18 billion or 8.6% of his net worth. He's now worth a measly $189 billion. Zuckerberg has been facing criticism for rolling back fact-checking on Meta platforms and replacing it with community notes. Because nothing says reliable information like letting your uncle who thinks the moon landing was faked weigh in on complex geopolitical issues. Warren Buffett lost $2.57 billion, but that's only 1.8% of his wealth. At 94 years old, Buffett probably didn't even notice. When you're worth $165 billion and you've been alive since the Great Depression, losing a couple of billion is like finding a penny in the couch cushions, in reverse. The funniest part about all this? For these guys, it's just numbers on a screen. I lose $20 and I'm doing mental calculations about my lunch budget for the next week. These billionaires lose billions and they're like, interesting market fluctuation today. Anyway, should I buy another yacht or another private island? Decision! Tired of doom scrolling? Want news that won't make you want to live in a bunker? Check out 5 Good News Stories, where they find the silver lining in a world that's usually lined with something much less pleasant. The gang at 5 Good News Stories dig through the headlines to find 5 stories that prove humanity hasn't completely lost its mind. It's pretty much the opposite of this show. From scientific breakthroughs nobody's talking about to random acts of kindness that restore your faith in humanity, all delivered with the cutting wit you deserve. 5 Good News Stories, because sometimes the news doesn't have to suck. Subscribe to 5 Good News Stories wherever you get your podcasts. Speaking of money, have you seen these egg prices lately? Americans are getting so desperate this Easter, they're dyeing potatoes instead of eggs. That's right. The Easter Bunny's out here delivering spuds. This family farm in Ohio, Young's Jersey Dairy, usually buys 10,000 eggs for their Easter hunt. 10,000! They bake them all in standing ovens because apparently boiling that many would require the Pacific Ocean as your pot. But this year, they're using plastic eggs with carousel ride coupons inside. Talk about inflation. Kids expecting chocolate are getting amusement park tickets. Next year, they'll just hide IOUs in the grass. And people are getting creative with their egg alternatives. One food blogger started making fake eggs out of peanut butter, almond flour, and maple syrup, dipped in blue-tinted white chocolate. Her video got 64 million views. 64 million people watching someone make fake eggs. Meanwhile, I can't even get my neighbor to watch my cat for the weekend. Some egg dye company surveyed 9,000 people, and 90% said they're dyeing eggs no matter what the cost. 54% said they'll never stop. These people are more committed to egg dyeing than I am to avoiding my taxes. You know who's really suffering here? The Easter Bunny. That poor rabbit spent all winter planning his big day, and now he's scrambling, pun absolutely intended, to find egg alternatives. I heard he's considering hiding avocados this year, but millennials would just use them for toast. So this Easter, when your kids are hunting for colorful potatoes in the backyard, just remember, nothing says American ingenuity like pretending a root vegetable is an egg because chicken products cost too much. Happy Easter, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow even though it's a Sunday. Portions of today's show were made with the help of Easter potatoes, AI, and a loss of a couple of $1 trillion.